Hello everyone, Krydex here. Welcome back to our Nullius playthrough. In our last episode, we got science up and running and got a lot more labs set up, along with green science in, and then we also improved our climate and mineral samples to be 0.6 per second, compared to the 0.2 that they were at before. So now I just have red and purple that I have to accomplish 0.6 per second, and then I will be set for quite a while. I mean, the green science tier looks to be the biggest one yet. We will get to a physics apparatus, which we're probably still a long time away from that. So, because there's a lot of upgrading we'll have to do in the green science tier and rebuilding. And then there's boxed recipes, which I'll probably want to do some of as well. So all that being said, I think red is the next one I want to deal with. We'll just go in order here. Previously we had this, a little bit of plastic, some iron, and some water. Let's see what the new red science looks like. What was it called again? Mechanical? Yeah. Mechanical prototype. Now we actually don't have the next one yet. So I wonder if that's mechanical prototype. Oh, that's a long ways away. Okay, so don't worry about that. So we're still going with the other recipe. Okay. So why does that not show up then? Oh, because I'm not on product. There we go. Alright, so 0.6. And then, I mean, all of this is exactly the same, I guess, isn't it? So, now I do have the ability to add in some HCl, and that actually saves me a tiny bit of iron. But I haven't unlocked that yet. Pickling. But that is pretty close. I could unlock that. And that allows me to add various acids, caustic solution, sulfuric acid, or hydrochloric acid, to get more of something. That's probably worth it. I mean, I'm dumping caustic solution all over the place, and hydrochloric is not that expensive to produce. The sulfuric one I'm a bit more concerned about, but that's only for steel. So let's work towards pickling, as it were. Where did that go? So in the process, I'm also upgrading aluminum and iron paths, as well as it looks like my ability to create sodium sulfate, which I either need salt or sodium hydroxide, and then there's that recipe, whatever that is. And then we get a new volcanic separation that includes boric acid. So we'll work on figuring whatever that is out later. But for now, we are going to go with the pickled recipe. Iron wire. We need lubricant. That goes up. Gears, we need those. There's only one route to gears. Wait, I already put gears in. What am I doing? And then plates, also pickled. And then plastic. I automated 4 per second, so I'm just going to pull this off the main plastic line. And lubricant. I have no idea how much lubricant we have on the main line right here. Should definitely put yield on this. It says it can produce about 4.7 This only needs 0.15. That would require, though, how much methanol? 5.4. And right now, the only source of methanol is coming from all my aluminum production. Turning methane into methanol, 6-to-1 ratio. We're actually out of oxygen. Is that the way it's supposed to be? I don't think so. But I guess this just isn't running. I should probably store up some oxygen here. At the minimum. Oh, that won't work. Get a couple hundred more this way, but. Where's this methane going exactly? Into a tank that overflows. Okay, so we're basically using up all the oxygen. Anyway, all that to say, I think we're fine on that, at least for a while. So I'll just use this lubricant. And then HCl, we'll use that. So I just need to bring over 5.21 iron ingots. Oh, and gosh, we gotta fix the assemblers we're using. Guess I could go with large assemblers. Are large assemblers worth it? I mean, they actually use more power. They're twice as fast, but they use more than twice the power. Same amount of module slots. But I guess a beacon is going to be able to affect 4 mediums and how many larges. I guess that actually makes a big difference. So if I have larges, a single beacon... Did I not put beacons on my hotbar? Definitely will want beacons. Yeah, we can hit up 3 of these, and 3 of these is equivalent to 6. And so in terms of what a beacon can do, it's actually much better to have large assemblers. So maybe that's more optimal. To just kind of default to large assemblers. But yeah, well, I think we'll go with large assemblers. And let's see the effect that these yield modules have. We're starting at 5.21 iron. Okay, so large assembler 1, that'll be default. We'll hit play. This one can only do medium. Foundry 2 is our default. Hit play. And then we go from 5.21 to 4.35. It's decent savings. And we go from 3.4 megawatts to 4.1 megawatts. Now, if we have a beacon, beacon 1, affecting 1, beacon by factory, constant beacon, enter, play, record, play, and then a single efficiency. That would bring us down to 3.9 megawatts. It's not as much savings as I thought it would be. Oh, I needed to hit play here. And then this, and play. Is that not working? Shouldn't the consumption of these gone down by a bit? Oh no, because it's calculating... Right. We actually want beacon by factory 0. What that will do... Yeah. Is basically not factor in the beacon power. So then it brings us down to 3.2 megawatts. And then 2 beacons would just be 100 kilowatts each. So that's easier to think about it that way. So beacons would be helpful here. Pin. And then really, we've already got plastic right here. And iron. got our big iron line here, and if I upgrade this to red belt, that should be fine. And then I'll just merge that with plastic. So this will be for red science. Come up this way. I'm gonna leave lots of space here. And we're gonna build it up in this region. Okay. And then we're gonna need to bring lubricant up as well as HCl. So lubricant, I'm making separately for green science. I really shouldn't be doing that. We'll throw in a T-junction. So I can bring this along. And then we also need... What did I need? Oh, yeah, HCl. Which... comes from here. Now, are we outporting, exporting, or outputting? Those are the words I'm looking for. Are we outputting this anywhere? Looks like we just have an overflow that then deals with the HCl. So right now we don't have basic output, which we can do with a small pump here. And then turn that around. That'll be my output. Can I worm my way through this line right here? Looks like I can. That might bite me in the butt later, but that's fine for now. And then I'll go up. There's all sorts of fluids over here, so I'm sure things will get dicey eventually. Cut across there. And here we go. Okay. That's everything I need. What were these two? These aren't even connected to anything. Did I just put those? Beacon power seems suspect. How's it going, Complex Color? Welcome in. That is a good question. Let's check the beacon power again. These should all say amount affecting 1. Oh, you forgot that it's efficiency 50%. So we're actually only going down 25%. So we're going from let's just double check. Yeah, those are energy plus 10%, but they're also changing the speed and productivity. And the game is auto-mathing all of that. And so it's not necessarily... Well, I guess, yeah, just adding the efficiency would only change the power. You're right about that. Okay, so let's see if the math checks out. We should be going from 1.2 to 0.95. Which I did that the wrong direction. So we should see about 80% of the previous power. And if we do 4.1 to 3.2, 3.2 out of 4.1 is about 80%. So that actually does check out. I think you just forgot that the beacons only give 50% of the module power. Okay, so I'll move this up and we'll build it up here. I should probably get a couple pylons. Don't I have pylons? Thought I did. Clearly I don't. Whoopsies. And we're still out of glass. I fixed glass already. Now what's wrong? Wastewater. completely forgot about wastewater overflow. Definitely gonna want some bigger outfalls soon. I don't know why sometimes I build these things so non-optimally. Like, that's so much better. Okay, that should fix things. Glass is running again. Perfect. So, complex color. Have you played some Nullius? You coming in from the Nullius channel? I've been loving this mod so far. I think it's been one of the most original mod packs since... I don't even know. I mean, I guess original is hard to like grade, but it feels more original than most of the mod packs, I'd say. Okay, we'll start with the output. Bam, bam, bam. 3 of those. These are just going to be a simple belt. And then we need 2 making motors. I would like a beacon here. Save some power. And then we've got 2 factories making motors and 2 making gears. We can move these down a little bit. Now, can we fit 2 larges and 2 mediums? Looks like I can. Nice. Okay, so these both need plates and rods. These just also need plastic and wire. Plastic we are bringing up. Wire can just be here. Maybe I should move these up 1. Give myself a bit more room to work with. Because then I can do this. And we'll put gears on the close side, motors on the far side, and then this just comes down. Okay. Lubricant, we can hook up to here. Like so. Okay, I should start checking things off. There we go. And then we only need 2 foundries making the plates and rods and stuff. Oh, right. Still working on that research. Well, we're getting there. And so those 2 can be alone. Oh, and then I will have sludge to handle. I'll just put them here for now. Okay. So that's hooked up. Sludge will need to be handled. Sludge. I should have a main sludge line too. Near the wastewater. Shouldn't I? Because we're going to use a lot of sludge. So we'll make sure that gets repurposed. Because later on we can, you know, turn sludge into ores and stuff like that. But we'll just make sure we have a connection. Right there. These, well, they do need a decent amount, so we'll put 2. 2 guys there. And then we need plastic to come up. Then we need a belt from here. Perfect. All right. That should do it. Make sure everything's powered. And then we just need to connect plastic up where the motors are. Which... this can do that. This one turns around and voila. Okay, so once I finish metalworking 3, I believe this will run. And I haven't missed anything, but gosh, that's a about to put my foot in my mouth sentence if I've ever heard one. And then we'll come down. And I guess we can even join in on that belt. No reason not to use it. And then we'll just transition the red off. Of course, there's a pylon in the way. I think that maybe disconnected something, so we'll just make sure that's still connected. And then go ahead and do, well, I guess we want the input priority left, which is the top. Okay, so that's set up correctly. Perfect. Okay. So as soon as this research finishes, which looks like right now the only slowdown to that is speed of labs. How's power doing, by the way? Power's been doing pretty good. The wind turbines have been doing quite nicely, and since I'm up here, I can replace all of these, which will further improve my power. It won't help with the amount of power I have stored up. That's still going to be the same, but it will mean as long as wind isn't 0, I won't need as much stored power when the wind is low. Because let's say before, you know, wind was needing a lot of help down at 10 megawatts. Well, now it'll be providing like 26 megawatts instead of 10. So this will end up saving us a ton of power either way. All right. Because, yeah, you can see that blue line is the amount of wind power we were getting just shot up. So that's great. You know, when wind is very low, like right now the wind is close to, it's actually going to 0, which is not super common. So the rest of our base still has to be able to provide power in the backup scenario. But as soon as wind kicks back on at all, it really helps out. So hopefully that will account for kind of the new power. And honestly, my new systems probably use less power per item, so it might actually be better for the factory. And if I really want to, I could haste some of these labs, but I don't think that's going to be helpful. I don't think we need hasty labs. Come on. Just need a couple more percentage. 10% more. Alright, well, while that functions, we can work on this guy. You know, I guess what I could do is just copy and then pick something, delete it, and then paste. And then we can figure out what's new here. It's probably not a new electrical prototype, right? Electrical. Yeah. Okay. Looks like this is the only recipe we get for that. Let's just double check. Yep, that's it. So you're not linked. We want 0.6. Copper wire. We definitely don't have that yet. Okay, good. Finished the recipe or research. So we gotta pickle these two. And that should be all I need. Shoot, that was supposed to be the plates. That was supposed to be the rods. Oh, this one doesn't have an input. Dang. I don't know how I missed that. Well, good thing is I got plenty of room, so there we go. Guess we can move this back one. And then we can just actually do this. There we go. Oh man, I really goofed. I never even put input for this guy either. Forgot a lot of inserters with this. And then here we've got belt problems. Okay, will that fix everything, I hope? This got disconnected. There we go. Beautiful. Okay. So red science is a go. And rubber. I think it's time for the new rubber recipe. Well, that depends. We'll have to check out how difficult acrylonitrile and solvent are. Acrylonitrile is here. Propene, oxygen, and ammonia. Doesn't sound too crazy. We can even get nitric acid. That looks familiar. And then we want venting too anyway, but what about solvent? That comes from methanol, carbon monoxide, and oxygen. Oh my gosh, we're gonna need a big old chemistry plant, I think. So, I guess let's compare. Wait, I clicked on that one. Oh, yeah. It knows. So butadiene differential is 4.25 compared to 6.8. It's fairly significant. Power use is much higher as well. And this one needs some extra styrene, whereas this does not. Styrene is made out of ethylene and benzene, whereas the acrylonitrile is made from propene and other, what I would argue are free things, and solvent is made from methane and monoxide, both of which are kind of annoying to get. Because monoxide... Do I have another way to make monoxide that I'm not aware of? Guess volcanic gas. I mean, is that crazy to just use that? I can just vent everything I don't use. Otherwise, the only way to make monoxide... Oh, is just dioxide hydrogen. For some reason, I thought the graphite one was the only one I could use. I mean, that is an easy way to make monoxide, though. But the monoxide is basically a tiny amount. Anyway. So... benzene, ethylene, butadiene versus propene and butadiene. This is definitely easier in the long run. And methane is just CO2 and hydrogen. So methane and carbon monoxide are created with the exact same recipe, essentially, just different ratios. Okay. So anywhere I have methane, CO1 is also doable. And then we can crack propene into more methane, ethylene, and benzene. I'm getting all these names mixed up. So this is propene and it creates methane, or ethylene, and this is ethylene and it creates propene. So these would produce methane and benzene in large amounts and kind of loop into each other. So that's pretty handy now that we have that recipe. Very confusing, to say the least. Butadiene comes from ethylene in the first place, and propene comes from both. Whew, tricky stuff. Okay, I'm not going to worry about all that chemistry in this block. I just needed to know kind of what it was. We'll set that all up separately, but this is the core of what we need is a new rubber plant. So that'll be separate. Aluminum wire, we can throw some lubricant at it. And logic circuits, yeah, this is where things get a little messy. Lamps and capacitors. Start thinking at scale in terms of the science. Because right now I'm just trying to get enough science so I can work my way through the green tech tree and then build all these new processes at scale. So that's kind of the plan. Because all this stuff, I'm actually kind of just contemplating, should I just pull this from the main line rather than rebuild it? I've already got plenty of plastic per second. I'm going to do yield on everything anyway. So I'll probably just grab this from the network. Glass, alumina, aluminum sheets. And then I'll rebuild these inputs over time, I think. Because otherwise this is just too much work. So I think I'll actually just start here. Because I have all these in the network. And I'll just pull logistics from that. So then we want, maybe I'll build this in this area. let's build this at least over to the side. 1, 2, 3, 4. And I mean, these guys, let's see what I've already got for lamp production. Lamp production is pretty slow. Logic circuits I have 2 of. Capacitors I have plenty, and then the insulated wire. Where's that? Up here. Oh, and we've got about 3 of that per second, which is plenty. So taking a third feels fine to me, especially since my buildings are all caught up. We do have a lot of this being used up, though. But it's keeping up, so that's fine. Oh, my bots. My bots are all out. I mean, I could throw a beacon here just to speed things up a smidge. 3.2, it's a little better. It's not a lot more speed, but I guess every little bit helps. And then we're gonna want more of logic circuits, which are only made in small assemblers, if I remember correctly. That is correct. So we'll just throw another one of those around, and that should handle almost exactly 0.57, 0.572. So that's actually perfect. And then the aluminum wire input, I can switch this to the lubricant recipe pretty easily. Get a bit more efficient on that. Where's the lubricant? It's up here. We'll put that going to the left. Oh, crap. Okay, and then this will go left and up. There we go. Okay, so that will be some smidgen more. I also, let's see, does that actually craft faster? Aluminum wire. So, oh yeah, that crafts way faster. 4 seconds to make 10 versus 5 seconds to make 7. So that's one of the big benefits to this too, is just the output is a lot more. You know, 7 per 2.5 is roughly 3 a second, slightly under, whereas this is 5 a second. So that will grant a lot more aluminum wire availability. And finally, we need more lamps. Which, can lamps be made in a medium? They can. So I'll just make a medium lamp maker. And call that good enough, because that's another 0.954. Okay, so then these guys need a bunch of requests. We'll do quite a bit, just to make sure we've got enough. And then let's see, we'll do this. .5 a second. What do we need the smallest amount of? I guess anything other than insulated wire could be this. Oh, they're all fast enough. Doesn't matter. Okay, so you do logic circuits. You do. One of you needs to be close. You do. What else do I need? Lamp capacitor. Okay. Lamp. Capacitor. Insulated wire. It's right here. Okay. Easy enough. Get some long inserters going. And then we've got purple science. I am leaning heavily on my logistics network, so we're going to want probably more logistics bots to handle this. I'll do 100. And then I'm going to want some more charging stations along this route. Because there's going to be a lot of deliveries coming up this way. I want one like right there too. Okay. Purple is complete. Bring that up and over. Store that in a chest. Still don't know why sometimes it doesn't remove the belt. Cannot figure that out. Input priority right. Alrighty. We are good to go with science. Clean out the old inventory here. I guess it's time to put modules in my requests. And probably get the next modules as well. Oh no, what is going on with these? Why is there no logic circuits? Because there's no graphite. Why is there no graphite? Graphite came from here. There is. It's just too slow. Okay, well let's make that better. Hopefully that's good enough. Kim size stopped. You're probably right. It has a habit of doing that. Somehow it keeps running into issues. Yep, why has it stopped? This time it's because of ammonia barrels. We're out of ammonia. Are we out of ammonia? I'm out of hydrogen because I have too much oxygen. How do we have too much oxygen? Well, because we can make too much oxygen, but isn't this... Hold on. Isn't there oxygen coming from two... Oh, do we just... Oh yeah, there we go. Okay. Same problem that I ran into already with wastewater. I just forgot to vent extra oxygen. So that should do it. How's it going? Raise me up. Welcome on in. Oh, and Brandon. So much chatting. I love it. Now that you have them all robotized, I don't think that's a word. Why don't you hook up a hanger to the circuit network to deploy new bots? You know, that is a great question. Honestly, you want to know my real answer? I just kind of like doing it manually. There's something really satisfying about the dropping 100 bots, and it helps keep the bot count nice and even, which is a completely arbitrary desire. But I won't lie, I just kind of like having it be a nice multiple of 100. I should drop in some more construction bots still, though. This should honestly go up to 50. But yeah, very arbitrary choice. It is true there are demand spikes with personal logistics, but I think the 1,000 bots is still pretty capable of handling my personal spikes. At least so far. I haven't had any big issues with that. So if I do notice I'm running out, I'll just drop in another 100 at a time. Okay, Kimsai is running again. I was about to say, hopefully it's not still stopped. All right, there we go. And somehow we got a little piece of hydroxide on the end there, so let's get rid of that. Okay, that is, I think, working as intended. Oxygen is venting as intended, that's good. And in terms of labs, I think we have slightly too many. You know, if we look at chemical science production, we are at 0.6 a minute, which is going to be 36 per minute, or 0.6 per second, which is 36 a minute. Sludge is going to back up. Thank you for noticing that. Just like the rest of these. I think I've other than residual gas and carbon dioxide, I think I've forgotten to put overflows on every single one of these. I don't know why that is. I'm normally pretty good at remembering overflow. So sludge, we will just process here. And this can handle 80 a second, which is not massively fast, but what was the sludge creation rate that we're actually going to have? Where even is it coming from? Oh, it's all the way up here. Wait, no, it's not. Oh, it's these. Right, okay. 1 per second. Yeah, that's basically nothing. So then this guy will create wastewater. And then that can just go over. And then the seawater, I guess we need one more space for some waterfill. Seawater intake. And yes, the waterfill is kind of cheaty, but I'm okay with that. Oh, really? There's a freshwater recipe? Wow, how did I never notice that? Ah, thank you for that. And it's probably faster. Yeah, that's a lot faster. Okay. Well, I don't know why I didn't check for that, but now I know. And we can just use a well for that. And then that's a lot more sludge per second. In fact, one well is not anywhere near enough. Guess we'll put another one here. That's closer. Okay, and then we go to the right. And a T right here will do it. That all gets pumped in. And we're about to be able to make outfall 2s. So let me get ready. A couple more buildings here, and then outfall 2. Bingo, bango, and then chimney 2. Bingo. And of course, it needs 5 things, which I'm actually remembering for once what to do with that. What do we need? 30? I didn't check. 4 each. Yeah, that's fine. Okay, and then we'll change our outfall request to outfall 2, 45. Chimney request to chimney 2. 5. And then I can just get rid of all my outfalls and chimneys. Oh, we're out of bots. Let's chunk in another 100. Actually, let's just do 200. Why not? So satisfying. Yeah, I mean, it needs a ton of resources with all that concrete. But there we go. Now, are they bigger? They're probably bigger. I guess I didn't check that before I switched everything over. There it is. Is that the same size? Actually, that looks the same size. Where's an outfall? Over here. Oh, good. They're exactly the same size. So I can just replace them. Now, what about the chimneys? Are the chimneys the same size? They are. Thank goodness. Okay, well, that's nice. And we're still working through some researches. Let's see, what else should we go for? I mean, mining productivity is not all that important to me right now, so I'm not going to deal with that. Limestone processing allows me to create gypsum. More gypsum with sodium sulfate. I wonder if that's... And calcium chloride solution. That's interesting. It's a completely different recipe. And the brine can cycle back into part of what we need for sodium sulfate, if I'm remembering correctly. We can just make solid calcium chloride, which then can be used to make lime. That's very interesting. Wow, this is all very interesting. And then lime plus CO2 and water can go back into crushed limestone. But isn't that how you make lime in the first place? So that's just backwards? Yeah, crushed limestone makes lime and CO2. And then lime can go back into crushed limestone. I guess that's just a way to go back and forth. If you need to get rid of lime, maybe that's a way to void lime. That's definitely the easiest way to void it, but that's a long way away. Yeah, I guess there's not really another easy way to void lime, so that's what that's for. Because then crushed limestone can go back into mineral dust, so... Okay, these are pretty slow on the logic circuits. Didn't I add another one, though? Oh, we're just low on graphite. I guess this is just really far away from graphite. So if we increase the request amount on all these, that should fix it. Because we are making 3 graphite a second. So I mean, we'll check. I don't think we're out of graphite, though. And upgrade other sciences is checked off the list. What's up? Graphite, yeah, we're totally fine on graphite. For what it's worth, I'm curious about the new graphite recipe. Here is the old one. 3 per second. Let's find out what the new one looks like. So the new graphite is from methane. So let's just unlink that and say we want to match 3 per second. Methane comes from CO2. CO2 comes from air separation. We'll use the new version. And then, yeah, and then we need hydrogen from water, water from filtering, fresh water from wells. So the difference is actually not good. That's surprising. Oh, these all have... yeah, hold on. Let's maximize everything here. Make sure everything has all the efficiency and then the same thing here. Okay. So now we're comparing apples to apples, and it is less power. It also produces wastewater slightly less, nitrogen slightly less, oxygen about the same. So is that any better, really? I guess 12 buildings versus 15. That helps. Because the methane is the same recipe. Yeah, I guess that makes sense. We just use a furnace instead of a chemical plant to make the graphite, and then it gives back hydrogen instead of water. But the methane creation needs a lot more hydrogen in the first place. So just a little bit less CO2. You know, honestly, part of the problem is the air separation method as well. If I use the original air separation, that will probably need, yeah, less distillery usage. So I wonder if that makes a difference. 3.7, 12 buildings, 3. No, that's basically the same. And this way we get some residual gas. So not a big difference there. Okay, well, slightly helpful, I guess. A little bit less water needed. Electrolyzer, slightly less needed. Not as significantly different as I hoped, though. It's just a way to reuse methane, which I didn't have previously. Okay, how are my bots doing? Okay, they have caught up. That's good. Charging station. Oh yeah, someone was mentioning a good way to think about this would be to go to the map and click bots. And then I can see if they're getting held up somewhere. Which I hadn't thought about this, so thank you for whoever gave that tip. It does look like there's a bunch clustered here and here. So that's a charging point, and then this one, maybe there. Guess I can just zoom in and then make it with bots. So, put one there. Where else did I say? Over here. I guess maybe part of why they're clustering there is just because that's where a lot of charging ports are in the first place. So it doesn't necessarily mean that I need more charging. Because yeah, this seems pretty good. Doesn't look like they're all getting held up somewhere. Maybe I'll put one more here, one more here. Speaking of bots, when do I get bots 2? Well, we got quite a few researches to get there, but Robot Frame 2 is all I need that I don't have yet. Which honestly, I have half of that already. I need batteries and fiberglass. Fiberglass is glass fiber and epoxy. Glass fiber is hard glass and water, so you melt down hard glass, which needs boric acid. Okay, yeah, there's a lot of stuff left. I'll just slowly start working on all the researches. Place some lamps. You know what would be cool is if there was a mod that you could select an area and it would auto-place lamps in areas that don't have a lamp near them. That would be pretty swell. You could actually kind of somewhat consistently light up your factory. Without having to just run around and place them yourself. Just kind of being completely haphazard right now. Alright, well, I mean, we are kind of in a whole new world of whatever this is, technology. There's tons of new sciences that I'm unlocking. So we probably need some sort of goal. I don't have a goal right now. I could make a goal of geothermal 2 and Stirling engines 2, and working towards more power now that I'm needing more power. 140 megawatts. Yeah, that's actually a lot. I should go replace more of my turbines. Replace all your wind. Yeah, that's actually... We came to that conclusion at the same time, didn't we? Let's just make an upgrade planner for that. And go turbine 1 to turbine 2. Uh-oh, why are there 2 of them? That's concerning. Is it build 2 or base 2? It is build 2. Okay, that's a little tricky. I wonder if the base is the thing that keeps them from being placed too close together. And we'll just go over the whole map. And I'll have to walk by each of them. Radar coverage, that's a good one. Yeah, my radar's pretty wimpy right now. I don't have anything up in the geothermal area either. Sensor. I guess I have to automate those. Oh, that's probably what you meant. You can't even do ghost upgrades when it's not in radar coverage. So let's get that going. We'll put this over here. Do I already have sensors? No. Sensor nodes, I guess I should say. Now, do those stack to 50? Because I don't need 50. 20 is fine. And we need 5 things. Glass. That's another thing I want, is the next level logistic chest. Requester chest, or they're called demand chests. Small demand chest 2. I don't get for a long time. That's a bummer. Only being able to demand 4 things, even in the green science tier, that feels a little bit harsh, considering you get the first tier in purple science having to go through the entirety of green science, still only being able to request 4 things. That's a little difficult, especially because so many buildings need exactly 5 things. I think changing this to 5 would be very, very, very nice. Because there's just some random smattering of buildings you need 2 for. And I'd be fine if every rare once in a while you needed 2 of these, but right now you need 2 of them somewhat consistently in a logistics mall, and that's kind of annoying. I think even just changing it to 5 would make a huge difference. So there's my personal request. Okay, so we want to first get one up to the left. Yes. Oh, I should get some pylons too. Probably should be a request for them. Just take 30. Oh, inconvenient because 2x2, so the bigger request chests are 2x2. That's really frustrating. That you can only get 4 items requested per square. And then if you want more, you have to go with a bigger chest anyway. I don't know if I love that. In fact, if it's anything like Pynodons, I might be able to just go into the mod file and change it myself to hold 5 items. And I'm not totally opposed to that. Okay, so we want sensor nodes. Because we can just place it in the wind farm. Go ahead and upgrade you. And then we'll throw another sensor node up here. Ugh, so many. Okay, the next sensor node needs to go like all the way over here. Okay, and then I gotta go back and upgrade these. Do I have enough? Yeah, 11 more. How are we doing with power? Uh-oh, accumulators are getting used up. That's okay, it's nighttime. I do expect some amount of backup turbine usage at nighttime. Okay. So do we still have more? Yeah, there's still 5 more down there. Oh, you can see my bots. I left them in the dust, and now they're going ultra slow. I guess that's helpful. Come on, little buddies. Oh my gosh, that's really funny. I would like bot speed, actually. When do I get more of that? We gotta work through most of the green tech tree, or at least a lot of it. And only for 10 more %. That's a bummer. I don't know why robot speed 3 doesn't show up as one of the researches, because it's in the tree. There's 4. Where's 3? Cargo capacity. Battery capacity, that's pretty nice. There's robot speed 3. Okay, that's not till the next tech tier. What about cargo capacity? When do I get that? Oh good, I do get that in green science. Okay, that will be a huge change. You know, obviously doubling... Okay, they're mostly charging back up. Doubling your robots means you basically have twice as many now. So that one's a pretty huge upgrade. Come on, little guys. There we go. Charge up. Okay. I'll try to not leave you behind again. Okay. We'll get these 3 replaced. Let my bots charge up. One more straggler? Oh no! Well, he'll catch up someday. Maybe 5 minutes from now or 3 hours from now. I'm not going back for him. That's really funny. Okay. So this whole northern wind field is upgraded, I believe. Yep. Okay. Oh, there's even a straggler over here somewhere. There we go. I got him back. Okay, so now to get a few more upgraded, and then we'll be done. Gotta let the bots bring me 20 more. Now, is my research doing okay? Just want to make sure we're not out of anything. Okay, looks like Kim Sai is the limiting factor, but we are at 36 a minute, so we are sustaining production as expected. So nothing to worry about there. Once I do a few episodes where I'm just building for an hour straight, you know, that'll build up a lot more science. Because if we're at 0.6 a minute, then 60 minutes is what? Or not 0.6 a minute. Hold on, we're at 0.6 a second. 0.6 times 3600 is 2,000 an hour. Yeah, that's plenty of science, I think. Maybe a little slow, but I think I can manage. Okay, so now we need a bit more radar coverage down here. Let's get one that captures my limestone mine. Right there's good. Oh, I can totally upgrade this too. I just don't have any miners on me. Okay. And we need another one way out here. Right there should do it. Get a pylon connection. Alright. Bam. And now I can upgrade all these. Oh, looks like I already did. So then we should see 0 wind turbine ones. 30,000. Okay, why am I seeing 5 wind turbine ones? Where are they? Do I have some turbines not in? Those aren't turbines. I don't think I have turbines up here or right here. Or out here. Where are they? According to this, I don't see any more that I could upgrade. Curious case of the 5 missing wind turbines. There's the straggler, still trying to make his way back. So where are these 5 wind turbines? That's the real question. I guess let's just try something. Like, what if I were to... Oh, gosh. That's too much. Oh, I do see 5 wind turbines on there. I still see them. Okay, now I only see 2. So there's somewhere along this line, maybe? And if the deconstruction planer can see them, why can't... Am I missing something? If the decon planer can see a turbine, why can't the upgrade planer see a turbine? That feels backwards. And there's not even 2 options here. It's not like I have the wrong one selected. Something is fishy. Let's just see if we can find them. Looks like all the ones in the base are fine. There's definitely 5 more. Oh. Oh, they're already selected for upgrade planing. I see. That makes sense. Okay, well, we found 3 of them. Let's put some lights out here. Is there another one over in this region somewhere? It's like there's nothing. Yes, Brandon, you're right. If I can find them and pick them up, then that will recharge them. But that would require me going back to fetch the robot anyway. I kind of like to see if they ever get there. If they ever catch up, you know? It's like a little challenge for the bot. It's like that Reddit post from a long time ago where they're like, if there was a slug that was always trying to catch you and if it touches you, you die. You know, would you take $1 million for that or whatever. It's kind of like that challenge. It's like there's a slug, it's always chasing me, it will never stop chasing me. The slug is immortal and can't die. It's kind of exactly like that, actually. Okay, so I think there's still one more. Did I get 4 upgraded? Yeah, there's one more. Okay, where are you at? It's probably down in this region somewhere, actually. Those look good. Those 2 look good. Is it up here to the right? It's not. Oh, here it is. Found it. Yes, we did it. Okay, I probably need to end the episode because it's gotten long. But we have now replaced all of our turbine 1s with turbine 2s. And that makes a huge difference. Now you can see the wind alone is quite a lot of power. Enough for our base. Sweet. 77 megawatts. And 75 averaging 1.6 is 120 megawatts on average, which is quite a lot. So as long as I have a bit more surge capacity, then I think wind power will get me going for quite a while. And even, you know, the Stirling engines provide quite a bit. Why don't I drive up real quick and just place another radar? Do I have one more? Yeah, I have 2 more. Just so that we have radar coverage of the whole base as we run into more rocks. Oh, come on. Hitboxes. Okay. First order of business is one out here. Oh, can I even drive through this? Yes, I can. Perfect. And all the way up here. Connect that up. And voila. Yeah, because these are all 250 degrees. So that stores a decent amount of energy. You know, I could put more of these if I wanted to store. I think these store like 6 kilojoule or 6 megajoules each or something. It's pretty small. Once you get to heat pipe 2s, geothermal 2s, and Stirling 2s, then the storage gets a lot more significant. But when it's all said and done, there's not actually a ton of storage in the geothermals. And heat tanks, what are they actually called though? Thermal storage, thermal tanks. So these are actually a pretty big deal because they can store 6 megajoules per degree. And so that actually ends up being a lot of storage. Between the max temp and the operating temp, there's like probably 100 degrees at tier 2, something like that. And so you can end up getting, you know, 600 to 1,000 megajoules per one of those, which is a lot of accumulators worth. So between geothermal and wind, I feel like, at least at the later end of this tech tier, we will be able to provide for our base with just those 2. But if I want to, I can always do some surge compressors on gases and stuff. Get that going. But I think I'm going to call it an episode here. For those watching on Twitch, I'm going to keep streaming, but I'm going to switch over to Riftbreaker. OmniPie, have fun with that, Brandon. Send some pictures of your base in the Discord. I'm very curious what that looks like. I know one of the other Pi players was doing Omni and Pi, but I'm curious to see what that looks like. But yeah, so I'm going to take a quick break on Twitch, but I'm going to end the video on YouTube. So let me know what you think in the comments, and I'll see you all next time.